Hello YouTube, it's Sir Daniel 1975 back again, and I'm continuing my model kit build series. Fortunately, the ones I'm going to show today are ones that you're not going to see any bit of the process or the steps along the way because they're already finished, and for some reason I didn't film some. But right next to me is the TIE Interceptor that was talked about in the last video that I posted, and I did probably build this one in 2013, about 2013, 2014. It's a simple kit. I kept it fairly clean. I did give it a bit of a wash, show off some of the detail a little bit easier. There's a pilot on the inside, which is painted. And I left the cockpit hatch functional. It's one of my favorite Imperial ships, maybe my favorite Imperial ship. I always love the way the TIE Interceptor looks with the forward triangular wings in the front. Makes it look like it's aggressive and going fast. So that's pretty much this ship in a nutshell. I'm going to do a quick little resolve here, and you'll see the next ship that I'm going to showcase. Alright, the next ship I'm going to talk about obviously is the Millennium Falcon, the YT freighter. This is a Revell kit, much like that X-Wing video, and I actually did this ship before I did the X-Wing, and at the time I wasn't videoing my work like that. So anyway, I thought I'd show this one off. This is one of the ones I'm proud of. I did try to make it close to the model that was used in, say, the first Star Wars, I believe. Or maybe it was the Empire Strikes Back pictures I looked at. But anyway, it was hard to do that because the Aztec paneling, if you want to call it Aztec paneling, on the top of the hull and the bottom of the hull was not an exact match to the way that it is on the physical model used in the production for the films. So it does come with a Han Solo and a Chewbacca on the inside there. It did come with fairly decent detail, even though it's not accurate. I felt like the model of the ship was maybe a tad too fat. Maybe it should have been just a little bit thinner. It is the dish does work. The gun works there, and the bottom one moves. I left it so they move. Like I said, if you look, I tried to do the right detail paint, and I also heavily weathered this ship. Obviously, the Falcon looks like it's practically about ready to fly apart. That's sort of a love of the ship. I didn't do I was trying different things. I was going to light the back, and I didn't. So that's why there's holes back there. Never got lit. I suppose I could crack it open someday and put some light back there. Put some blue lights back there, but I haven't done that. I did do some special effects photography with this. Actually, on my YouTube channel, you can see some experimental videos I've done with this ship. So this is, of course, my favorite ship from Star Wars and the original trilogy. And I think there's really not a whole lot to say about it. It's, of course, a lot of people's favorite ship, even though it's an impractical design because it puts the pilot with a big blind spot on this side. So anyway, it is of course one of the coolest designs as far as for just the look. But this was my leap back into modeling, was doing this ship. It's not my best work, but it's still pretty good, and I am proud of it for what it is and when I built it. So that's that. The Revell kit of the Millennium Falcon. Some people say Falcon. Alright, the next ship that I'm going to showcase is another one of my favorite ships of all time. And again, for some reason I didn't film this one, and this is one of my later builds actually. I did it a couple, I did it in 2016 when it was the 50th anniversary for Star Trek. And I guess the real importance of this was that this kit was sold as a 50th anniversary kit. I'm pretty sure of it. And I know this particular size bird of prey, not everybody has done this size. I've done a smaller one, and it's an AMT kit, and it's by far one of the better AMT kits. And anyway, I tried to do most of the color scheme as close as I could, and there's some liberties, and some things came out a little bright, some things came out a little dark. I did weather it and give it a wash and everything. I did actually put the decals on this one because there were some decals that were just a little too hard to paint, and the big liberties I took were on the disruptor cannons, on the wings, and anyway, let's get it a little bit closer to the camera. Let me just say that this kit had the option of the wings being built in 3 different positions, I believe, and I went for the attack position. Some of my liberties are a little bit different in the rear. Show that. I did some good detail there. Some good detail on the disruptor cannons. And I did put some in some of the weathering. I used metallic colors because the ship's supposed to be a little bit rusted. So if you look closely, it looks like it's got a little bit of a rust going on there with the bronze. The metal color came out a little bright. I did weather it, but it just didn't take so well. But this is probably my most proud build. I did more detailed paint on this than any other ship I've done. I enjoyed it. I did show some pictures of this to a local Klingon club a couple of years ago, and they were impressed with my model. They liked it a lot. So again, this is one of my favorite ships in sci-fi stuff. Probably my second favorite ship out of Star Trek altogether, and my favorite Klingon ship out of Star Trek. So, the Klingon bird of prey, I believe it's technically known as the Revell class, and there is that. And when I come back, you'll see one more ship. It'll be the last ship. Well, no, there'll be 2 more that I talk about. But when I come back, I'll do a little resolve, and you'll see something else. All right, here's the next ship I'm going to talk about. And obviously, It's the Constitution class refit from Star Trek's 1 through 3. And I believe this was another 50th anniversary kit that I got. It's a cool model. It's a little bit smaller than I'd like. But that could be because I think it's neighboring kits designed to be scaled, possibly. Not sure about that. I could be wrong. But anyway, I started to paint it, and the paint job was coming out so good. So I got to remove the paint and restart over. So this has been sitting this way for a while. I haven't tackled it in a good bit. But this is the Constitution refit is by far my favorite of the Star Trek ships, and particularly of any of the Enterprises. Basically, for those who don't know, it's the ones from the original cast's films from the late 70s through the 80s and early 90s. Yeah, so I'm not going to do many close-ups on it because it looks really bad right now. So when I do get to this, which is probably going to be one of the next things, probably as far as for model kit videos, will be the next video that's in the series that I do. You'll see. I'll do a close-up then of how bad it is. Then you'll see the video, the process of removing the paint. Then you'll see it with all the paint removed, and then you'll see it redone. I did order the special Aztec decals to go along with it because when I got the ship, the decal set that came with it was mismatched. It had two of the same sets with it. It didn't have all, so I was missing some of the decals. So I ordered something that I found online, and I might give the Aztecing decals a try. I'm not sure. I still might be missing some. So again, I might not even do that. I might end up hand painting it or seeing if it's feasible to hand paint the Aztecing. Which on this small of a model could be extremely taxing to do. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. Anyway, the Constitution refit. My favorite Star Trek ship. I will be tackling this one. So the next we're going to have a little resolve, and then you'll see the next thing that I will talk about. All right, as you can see, I've got this X-Wing thing going on here. Well, the X-Wing that you see out here is the ship from my X-Wing video that's already online. So this is the Revell X-Wing right there. Here is the, well, ERTO or the AMT kit that I essentially got for free, that's talked about in the last video. Some things to talk about, because when I tried to show it off in the last video, my hand was in the way. So I will show the difference in the size of this ship. So in order to do this, I'm going to actually just go right up to the camera here and do this right. So as you can see, this is a smaller model, which is fine. And as you can see, I mean, there are some detail lines on it. Hopefully this is showing up on camera. And some of the detail, like on the top of the ship, does not match. But that's okay. It's fine. So the other thing that I said in the last video, which was something that was said several years ago, I had said, well, I will do just a different Red Squadron one. You know, well, it's maybe make it Wedge's ship. Well, after the movie Rogue One, I think I want to make it a Blue Squadron X-Wing, which would really make it unique and different. And so that is probably what I will do. So that will be the upcoming build. And here's the directions, the AMT ERTL. So anyway, I will be tackling that at some point. And so once the previous ship I just talked about is finished, I'll get started on this. When this will happen, I don't know. It's not going to be a back-to-back thing. It's not going to be a rushed thing. I have other videos that I work on and other things going on in my life that are going to make it so that I'm not on the ball with this 24/7. So this is only one of my like 100 hobbies that I do. So to add to that, I do this type of painting and stuff regularly, particularly through, say, starting sometime in the spring through the fall, as I do a small haunted attraction in town. So I do a lot of the props for it. I actually run the haunt, but I also the one that ends up making most of the props. So the type of painting that I do with this, but more creepified, if that's even a word, I just carry the techniques over to there, and I do it for that. So I have done lots of little different things, and stuff that most people can't even realize that it's been improved upon, that walk through the haunt. But anyway, so I do get a lot of painting practice in my life for this kind of thing. But anyway, I guess that was a plug for my haunt a little bit. It's known as the Tartan Haunt. But anyway, that, as they say, is that. And thanks for watching, YouTube. Don't forget to click like, to subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell. So I did have a hiatus from YouTube for a while, but I have been consistently putting up about 1 to 2 videos a week for the past couple of months or more. So anyway, stay with me, and I will keep the YouTube videos coming. And